Hi, I'm Mike Whitaker with Kosciuszko REMC. I'd like to welcome you to this year's annual business meeting. Some things to watch for during this video are the special Kosciuszko REMC light bulb icon throughout the virtual meeting. When the icon pops up on the screen, it means there's an important fact at that point in the presentation that you might want to remember. At the end of this virtual meeting, there will be a link to a quiz. You'll be entered into a drawing to win a prize if you answer the questions correctly. There's going to be 5 $50 bill credits and several special KREMC prize baskets that will also be awarded. Online quiz entries will be accepted through 5 p.m. the day of the drive-through portion of our annual meeting, which is June 8th. Winners will be announced on our social media channels following the annual meeting and will be contacted by phone. We look forward to seeing you this year. Now I'm going to go get a change of clothes and get ready for some Q&A with some of our employees here at Kosciuszko REMC and Kosciuszko Connect. I'm happy to welcome the President and CEO of Kosciuszko REMC and Kosciuszko Connect, Kurt Carver. Kurt, how would you explain Kosciuszko REMC and our mission to those who have recently joined our cooperative, or maybe some of our existing members who might not understand how a cooperative differs from other utility service providers?
First, Mike, thanks. It's great to be here today. And you're right, there is a lot of members out there that's joined Kosciuszko REMC for the first time and really don't know much about it. Kosciuszko REMC stands for Kosciuszko Rural Electric Membership Cooperative. REMC was created over 84 years ago to provide electricity to rural Kosciuszko County. Unlike investor-owned companies, Kosciuszko REMC is a member-owned company. Our mission and core values have remained the same since the beginning. Kosciuszko REMC is dedicated to safely providing quality electric energy and services to our members at a competitive cost. We value integrity, accountability, innovation, and commitment to community above all else.
That's great. So how do you feel KREMC's electric service rates compare to other co-ops and investor-owned utility companies?
You know, Mike, much like fuel costs that we see every day, we have very little control on that. And we purchase power from our generation and transmission providers, and the ever-changing prices of the fossil fuels are up and down, like coal and natural gases. But we can, on a local level, control how we operate our co-op by keeping our day-to-day operation costs as efficient as possible. KREMC's rates are still the lowest among all co-ops in the state of Indiana and investor-owned companies. This is possible because of the amazing employees and directors that make up our organization.
When thinking about innovation in the future, how is KREMC preparing to meet the power demand to support new technological advancements?
Great question, Mike. For every dollar on our members' electric bills we receive, 75 cents of that dollar, or over $37 million, goes to our wholesale power provider for the cost of electricity. The other 25 cents, or over $12 million, goes back into our day-to-day operation costs and to the distribution system that serves the power to our members' homes. This year, we will rebuild over 25 miles of line, change out over 100 bad poles. Transformers will be changed out as load increases, and we will continue in a very aggressive right-of-way tree trimming program.
So what should a member do if they plan to purchase an EV, or if they were like me, and EV stands for electric vehicle?
Well, Mike, KREMC takes a proactive approach when it comes to meeting our needs of electricity demand for our members. To ensure our members maintain reliable electric service now and into the future, we will continue to make that investment I spoke of earlier back into our distribution system to support our electric grid. If you do add an electric vehicle or any major large electric appliance, contact our office and talk to an engineer. They will evaluate your service and our transformer size and make changes as needed.
So commitment to community above all else is at the heart of our mission. One of the ways KREMC supports our community is through the Operation Roundup. Can you tell us more about this program and how you've seen it impact Kosciuszko County?
Sure, Mike, that is a great program. Operation Roundup is a voluntary program where members' electric bills are rounded up to the nearest dollar, with the difference being donated to the program. The money is deposited in Kosciuszko REMC's Operation Roundup fund held at the Kosciuszko Community Foundation. Charitable organizations in Kosciuszko REMC's service area apply for a grant from the fund. A voluntary advisory committee of KREMC's members reviews the grant applications and makes recommendations to help decide which applicants should receive a grant. Last year, it was amazing. We rounded up over $89,000 that went back into the Operation Roundup program to charitable organizations throughout our community.
$89,000 is a lot of change that our members are donating. That's very impressive.
Yeah, it is great. And I really want to take the time to thank our members for supporting such an amazing program. It does affect a lot of members' lives in our community.
That's incredible. One of our 2022 Operation Roundup recipients was Joe's Kids. Let's hear how receiving this grant impacted their mission.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Bazzoni, and I am the founder and director of Joe's Kids. We saw about 10 years ago that there were no options for children in our county to get outpatient therapies. These would be children with special needs or developmental delays, so their families had to seek services out of county and were traveling to Fort Wayne or South Bend, often only to be met with really long waiting lists for care because there are not a lot of clinics like this in northern Indiana. So there were a lot of families here in our community that were not getting any care at all for their children. Some families come to us and their child just needs a boost. They have a developmental delay and they might be in therapy a few months and then they catch up with their peers and they're good to go. Other children come to us with long-term disabilities. They may be in and out of our services the whole course of their childhood. Whether their needs are minor or profound, even those baby steps can make life easier for them, for their parents, and it gives them something to feel good about. We all love seeing the smiles on our kids' faces when they reach a new milestone or are just having a good day. At Joe's Kids, we have been blessed to receive support from KREMC Operation Roundup. So when you receive your bill in the mail, you have the option to round up to the nearest dollar. What might be a few cents to somebody rounding up their bill and turns into thousands of dollars when a whole community of people choose to say yes. And that brings money to a lot of well-deserving nonprofits who are making good happen right here in our community. To have an organization like KREMC, whose services touch the lives and homes of so many in our community, makes a huge difference for organizations like ours. Because we live in such a generous community, it empowers the nonprofits like Joe's Kids to say yes to new needs and to take those next steps forward.
How inspiring. Thank you, Joe's Kids. Another way KREMC supports our community is through programs like the John H. England Scholarship. Kurt, can you tell us a little bit more about this program?
Sure, Mike. The John H. England Scholarship Program was created to financially assist members in pursuing higher education. Each year, 10 applicants are selected by random drawing to receive a $1,000 scholarship for the upcoming year at the choice of their educational institution.
What a great opportunity. Amy Hague was one of 2022's John H. England Scholarship recipients. Let's hear from her about how KREMC helps support her educational goals.
Hi, my name is Amy Hague. I teach first grade at Harrison Elementary, and I've been teaching for 16 years. Last spring, I submitted an entry for the John H. England Scholarship. The scholarship is for anyone continuing their education after high school. About 2 years ago, I started a journey to get my master's degree from Ball State in educational psychology. I was about a year in when I applied for the scholarship and awarded that. I finished this past December, which was fantastic. Through it, I was just trying to learn how to better serve my students who are considered gifted and talented and give them the resources that they deserve and need. So the KRMC does many things that I think people may not even know about. About 7 years ago, they provided gloves for us that we still use today. My kids take them to recess when they don't have any. So the KRMC really builds into children and is helping our future look brighter. Having the community support my dreams, I can't even put it into words. The thought that they wanted to help me pursue my goal to help my students reach their dreams, quite frankly, brings me to tears. Just that support, the love they show for myself and children they don't even know yet is immense. Many people may look at the KRMC as just the utility bill that comes every month, but to me, it is much more than that. KRMC is family, it's community. They provide resources in our schools, for local businesses, just trying to further support what we are doing in the Kosciuszko County area.
Congratulations on your success, Amy. KRMC has also invested in our community by forming our subsidiary company, Kosciuszko Connect, to provide reliable internet and phone services to Kosciuszko County by constructing a fiber network. Kurt, can you tell us about the progress Kosciuszko Connect has made?
Sure, Mike. Much like the story of why Kosciuszko REMC was formed, Kosciuszko Connect was created to solve the overwhelming need for essential service in rural Kosciuszko County. That service is fast, high-speed, reliable internet. We have now connected over 6,400 members to fiber internet since December of 2021. Construction of the fiber network ring throughout our whole service territory has been completed, so all members can now sign up for high-speed internet and phone service from Kosciuszko Connect. And as we stated before, we will continue to offer free installation to our members through the end of this year.
So let's hear from KRMC members Jeff and Debbie about how Kosciuszko Connect's internet service has changed their day-to-day lives.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and this is my husband Jeff, and we've been a Kosciuszko Connect customer for about a year.
Before we got on Kosciuszko Connect, we always had problems with internet speed and being dropped. They depended on the weather. The weather would knock it out. You couldn't stream. The speed was so slow. You couldn't even think about streaming. Whereas now with the Connect, we're streaming, completely got rid of the satellite.
It was day and night. The difference between the previous service that we had and what we have now with Kosciuszko Connect, there is no comparison whatsoever.
Yeah, it wasn't like with the satellite service. When they installed, they came in, they put a bunch of boxes around where the TV was. They didn't make sure you knew how to operate it, and they were gone. Whereas with Kosciuszko Connect, when they installed it, just completely different. The service, the customer service was wonderful.
We decided to choose the Guardian protection plan for several reasons. For me, personally, it was for protection. My grandson, Carson, comes and stays with us. We go out and we protect our homes with fences, with cameras. Why would you not take that same step to protect your inside of your home too?
I mean, all the stuff on the internet out there now, you know, I don't want inappropriate things being sent to my grandson. This really stops it.
If I were to encourage someone, which I do often, to sign up for Kosciuszko Connect, first thing I would say is the customer service, the speed, all of the different programs that you have available. It is just fantastic. We just love it.
Wow, I never get tired of hearing how much our members love our internet service. Kurt, once a member signs up for our service, how long does it take to connect them?
Our members are very excited to get this service, and we've been throwing every available resource at this project since we started. Normally it takes 3 to 4 weeks from the time their order is in place. Our technicians are connecting 80 to 100 members per week on average.
So how has this service impacted our members and our community?
You know, Mike, it's opened so many doors on the communication side for our members. Remote education, e-learning, virtual appointments to healthcare providers, and a reliable connection for professionals who want to work from home, which is ever growing.
Right. So as CEO, what has helping to form Kosciuszko Connect been like for you?
You know, Mike, I've been around the REMC for a long time. Part of providing another essential service for me, for our members, has been very powerful and rewarding. To hear the excitement and the stories of how this has impacted so many lives has just been amazing. I'd like to thank our members for supporting such a powerful service. If you haven't experienced the exceptional quality of our internet service yet, sign up today. I guarantee you, you won't regret it.
Now joining me is Kurt Barkey, VP of Technology and Broadband. Kurt, can you tell us how Kosciuszko Connect services have evolved since the beginning of the project to meet the needs of our members?
Yeah, not only were we providing reliable, fast internet to our members, but we've also added crystal clear telephone service too, where you understand that that's something that our members need. It's something that we need to be doing. And so if you're looking for that crystal clear phone, we can take care of you in the office. We also have Guardian. It's kind of a passion project of ours in the office that allows parents and guardians to, you know, whatever those rules and boundaries they're setting for the internet, they can use that app to control what the kids are doing and seeing online. We've used the example, you know, if you want your kids to eat dinner and not be on their devices, you can shut down the internet specifically for those devices. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've also partnered with My Bundle TV, and since we're not offering a traditional TV service like what most people think of, this allows you to go out to our website and plug in what channels you're watching, what devices you're watching those on, anything like that. And at the end, it will give you a bundle of what you can use, and then you can sign up straight through My Bundle TV and sign into those apps.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, and then the last thing is we've made ordering really, really easy. We understand that not everybody can call us during the middle of the day, and so we've upgraded our website, and we can now order online as well. And that's another process that you can get walked through and figure out what it is that you want to do and order and all that good stuff. Yeah.
So what about our KREMC business members? What can Connect offer to them?
Sure. So very similar on what we do for residential. It's the same way with business. The biggest difference, I think, with business is that everybody's a lot more complex. So the solution that you're going to get really can be customizable to what you need as a business owner. If you just need internet, great. We can take care of you and you'll have that great internet that you've already possibly experienced at your house. If you need telephone service, whether that's just a line or up to 100 lines, we can take care of that too. You know, we got a whole office of folks that have been doing this for a long time. And so whatever those needs are, we can handle those, get you set up, may possibly make you more efficient in the office. And that's something we're really excited to do.
Wow. So Kosciuszko Connect is really an excellent resource, for the businesses in our community. And I understand that we recently partnered with the county on a project. So I think we have a little clip to show our involvement and exactly what happened with that. So let's take a look.
I'm Carrie Groninger. I'm a Middle District Commissioner. I've been serving in my role for about 6 years now. As a county commissioner, there's a lot of things that come across our plate, but our key focus is those infrastructure things. So our being able to provide safety, being able to provide our connectivity through our roads, and also being able to provide those utilities and things that our residents need and require. So back in 2019, we done a study of all of our public safety communication system and found that there were areas in our county that just weren't, the service wasn't as good as it could be. When we talk about public safety, it's our ambulances, it's our policemen, it's our firemen. All those people need to be able to communicate with one another, in a timely manner, in a quality manner that they can understand and be able to reach out. The last thing you want is to be in a location and not be able to reach back to call for help or reach out for support. That's when we were able to partner with Kosciuszko Connect to be able to get that connectivity and that redundancy in our system that then allowed us to have connectivity between towers. So if one fails, you're able to switch to a different source or a different avenue. As a commissioner, I want to see the whole county grow. To have fiber to your home in the rural community, it really gives us an opportunity to really use that and grow that. We just really appreciate the partnership that we've had and been shared with Kosciuszko Connect to be able to get to serve our county well and work well with Kosciuszko County. I really think as we look to the future, having that connectivity is just going to be key to be able to attract, new people to want to live here and new businesses that want to grow and expand here.
Wow, it's great that Kosciuszko Connect and the county were able to partner to help improve 911 communications in our community. Now let's address what our members should expect at this year's annual meeting. The drive-through portion of our annual meeting will take place at our facility on June 8th from 3 to 6 p.m. Use your voice to vote. You help guide the cooperative. Now I'd like to present our board of director candidates. Incumbent John Hand is running against nominee Tony Seibenek. Incumbent Pam Messmore is running against nominee Jill Schock. And incumbent Loretta Schaefer is running against nominee Joel Shepard. Place your vote using the ballot on the back of this year's June Indiana Connection. If you don't receive the magazine in time, we'll provide you with a ballot when you drive through the facility. As a special thank you for attending the meeting, you'll receive a $10 bill credit, a special gift, and a boxed meal. And now John Hand, Secretary-Treasurer of the Board of Directors, is joining us with some official cooperative announcements and highlights from our 2022 financial results.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's the responsibility each year of KREMC to ensure that all KREMC members are notified of the annual meeting and the approval of last year's annual meeting minutes. And each year, every cooperative member is mailed a notification of the Kosciuszko REMC annual meeting to the address that we have on file in our cooperative's records. The proof of notice for this year's mailing can be found on the KREMC website. And the 2022's annual meeting minutes were presented to the Board of Directors on June 27, 2022. A motion was made to approve the minutes, and the motion carried. They were approved.
So now that we've taken care of those important announcements, what can you tell us about the cooperative's 2022 financial health?
Well, we had another solid year. We continue to keep operating expenses low, coupled with solid revenues, which resulted in strong net margins at the end of the year. In 2022, KREMC ranked in the top 6% of over 900 electric cooperatives in the nation for operating expenses. And that's a great job the KREMC team did.
Yeah, top 6% in the nation. That's incredible. So tell me, John, if a member would like to review the detailed financial information from 2022, where can they find that information?
Well, there's a couple places. The 2022 financial results appeared in the inside front cover of the June issue of the Indiana Connection magazine. And this information can also be found on the KREMC website.
This concludes our virtual meeting. If you notice the special light bulb icon throughout the presentation, visit the link shown at the bottom of the screen to complete the quiz and be entered to win a prize. Don't forget to attend the drive-through portion of our annual meeting on June 8th. We can't wait to see you there.